Hey there, Wolverine fans, and welcome to this 2012 postseason wrap-up show on the Woodland Hills Football Network. I'm Adam Gusky, and today we're going to sit down with Woodland Hills head coach George Novak to talk about the loss against North Allegheny in the WPIAL finals. We'll also talk to him about what went on all season long with the Woodland Hills football team. We'll also let you see highlights of the WPIAL Championship game. All of that and more right here on WHHS TV. Again, we welcome you back to this postseason wrap-up show on the Woodland Hills Football Network. We're sitting down with Woodland Hills head coach George Novak. Coach Novak, before we talk about the entire season, let's talk specifically about the game against North Allegheny. A great first half offensively, a great defensive second half, but you just couldn't get them both to work together at the same time.
If you look at the whole day, it was probably the best football game played down there at Heinz Field of the 4 games. It was the most competitive game. And I was real proud of our boys and the effort they gave. And, playing against the #1 team in the state, #1 team in WPIAL, one of the top teams in the country, our boys played hard, gave it a shot, and we had a shot. We had a shot. A couple plays here or there, could have come out on top of that game. But they have a great team. They made more big plays than we did, and we just came up a little short. But it wasn't for lack of effort, because the kids gave a great effort.
Let's talk about Miles Sanders. He had a great football game until he got injured. First of all, how's he feeling? Second of all, talk about his performance.
Miles is a great young man. He's just really matured this year. You don't like to put freshmen in that situation, but he's a quiet kid and just kept working hard and just kept getting better every week. And he has great vision, runs very well, low to the ground. And he has that exceptional speed once he gets in the open field. Just does so much. He sustained a neck injury, a strained neck. Went down to Presby, and he was released that night. So he came down to the stadium Saturday morning. He and his mom, and said he was going to be all right, and he's ready to go, get back on the books, and get studying again.
Well, Coach, it's great news that Miles Sanders is feeling better. Of course, we're going to look forward to having him next year, but talk about some of the players that are no longer going to be with the program. Obviously, Alex Beasley, Jawan Turner, Cody McClellan are the names that jump to mind at first, but of course you've got Tom Green and Harper and a lot of other contributors to this WPIAL runners-up football team that aren't going to be with us next season.
I can't say enough about this senior class. For a 4-year period from when they were in 9th grade till now, they were just all a pleasure to have on the team. They just really improved every year. They didn't have a great junior high year when they were in 9th grade, and Jawan and Alex started when they were sophomores and juniors and seniors, but the other ones kept growing and developing. And the 2 things I'll remember most about this team is the leadership that the senior class gave. Verbal leadership, but also leadership by example, and the chemistry that was formed amongst the senior class and permeated into the underclassmen. The type that championship teams have, and they were all true champions. Of course, Adam and Jawan were the first 2 guys that I named captains at the end of last season. Didn't ever do that before. I did it because I wanted that leadership in the weight room and in the off season, and they showed it, and it paid off. But like you said, those 2 guys, first team all conference players the last 2 years, just great leaders, and we're truly going to miss them. Cody McClellan, a baseball player that we turned into a football player. He had a great career here passing wise this year. 20 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. It's just phenomenal in a 3-year period to do that and to take the team down to Heinz Field. And Tom Green, what a great year he had both on offense and defense. And he set the school record in receptions with 42. I think he had 803 yards and 9 touchdowns. And what was most phenomenal was how well he did defensively. His first year playing defense, he started both sides of the ball. Tom did a great job. Khalil Harper, he was first team all-conference, multi-purpose back. He kind of came in and did a little bit of everything. ended up having to play defense and offense and return kicks for us. And yeah, had some great plays. And the touchdown against Upper St. Clair is probably one that sticks out right now. But just a great young man, a great effort that he gave. Bruce Curry just had a great year, just phenomenal defensive player and special teams player. Tall Brimage played a corner for us. Just trying to remember all the seniors. Jordan Barnes, he had a great year. 2-year starter. He was second team all conference this year. Just had a great year for us. All the seniors contributed. And Day White, Daquan White, wasn't able to play for 2 years. Came out this year. Ended up playing a lot of running back and on special teams, punting. What a great year he had. Some big plays, some big touchdown plays all year. Nice runs. Cut the screen pass, did well on that. Ryan Welsh, first-year player, came out, moved into the district last year, played wide receiver for us, did a nice job. So, all the seniors contributed, and it wasn't like any superstars. They were all just a true team and team effort, both on offense and defense.
Coach, talk about some of the prospects for colleges for some of those seniors. Obviously, Beasley and Turner are going to get a lot of attention, but Tom Green's a whale of a physical specimen. He can catch the football and play defense pretty well also, and Cody McClellan really has come on and caught the eye of some coaches as well.
All of our players have worked real hard to get to where they're at. Obviously coming out of last year, nobody had any offers. They watched their junior tape, but I'm not a real big proponent of early commitments and that, but this year they showed what they could do, and definitely Tom Green is a guy whose stock has really rose as a result of how he's played during the year and in the playoffs, both sides of the ball. So I expect some colleges to come in and give Tom a real good look. Alex and Jawan, colleges have been looking at him since their junior year, and the big gripe on a lot of, not gripe, but big concern is just the height. Colleges, if you're not over 6 foot, it's hard to get into a big-time Division I school. Occasionally, some guys do, but we haven't had any of those colleges come in that want to take a chance yet. But both of them are outstanding players, and tops at their position here. In our 26 years, those two guys, have had outstanding careers. Cody, what a great career, 3-year player. The thing about Cody, Jawan, Alex, Malik Partlow, and even Jordan Potter, a lot of colleges are coming in now because of their grades. They did so well academically. They're all above a 3.0 grade point average. Jordan Potter's at a 4.0. He scored 2,050 on his composite of 3 scores for the SAT, which is a phenomenal score. The other guys have scored over 1,000 on their SATs. A lot of academic schools are coming in and very much interested in them. And there's a lot of the other guys also that can go on and play in college. Bruce Curry and Jordan Barnes. They all have that ability.
Obviously, Coach, you've got a lot of seniors that are leaving the program, but they're not leaving the cupboard bare behind. There are a lot of young players that contributed or started this past season.
This senior class was the nucleus of our success because of all their energy, but I think they leave behind them some outstanding young men that learned under their leadership, and they're going to get better and better, and hopefully they learn from their work ethic. And we got some outstanding young men coming back. A couple of juniors, Harry Randall and Chris David, are undergoing surgery in the next month or two, both ACL surgeries, and that takes anywhere from 6 to 8 months to rehab from that. So that puts us right at the beginning of next year. So that's going to be something we're going to have to really work on. And, so those two guys are ready to come back, and they both want to play, and they're both potential Division I players. But we got a lot of other young guys that saw action this year. A lot of juniors, 3 sophomores and 2 freshmen that started, and a lot of the sophomores played on special teams or in backup roles where they got to play a lot. And we're excited about the potential. We've got 3 offensive linemen returning, a junior, a sophomore, and a freshman. And, we got a lot of backups that were freshmen and sophomores last year, so there'll be juniors and sophomores next year. So, we'll still be young, probably a lot of offensive and defensive line positions, but we're optimistic, and, we're always optimistic. We always work hard, and, we always have a goal to, be successful and be the best team we can be. So, there's going to be a lot of decisions we have to make on positions and playing offense or defense or both, what positions they're going to play. But we have some great young athletes coming up. The last 3 years we had very successful 9th grade programs, and this year's program was outstanding. So, there'll be sophomores, juniors, and seniors all had successful 9th grade programs. So that's the positive aspect, and we're excited about that. I think we've got some really good, outstanding athletes, some good team speed. We're going to start getting bigger next year, size-wise, with the lines, and have more experience. Defensively, we could have 8 guys back that started or played a lot on defense, and 4 or 5 back on offense that started to play a lot.
Coach, looking back to this football season, would you have thought in July or August or even in early September that we would be talking in late November about a trip to Heinz Field?
Well, I never looked that far ahead, Adam, but yeah, things looked a little gloomy back then, but how we always use our motto, to achieve you must endure. I think that's something that this team did. They endured a lot during the season. We lost some of our key parts as far as being a successful team, yet they endured through it. Whatever it took, they kept working hard, focused week in and week out on our opponent that week, and they were able to put together a pretty impressive group of wins down the stretch here to get to Heinz Field. But I think the odds makers would have been against it.
Coach, the way you designed the offense this year, you had a spread, pass the ball a lot more than we're used to seeing from a Woodland Hills team, but you were still able to incorporate a lot of the plays from a long time ago as well, the counters, the whams, the traps. All of that seemed to incorporate into the shotgun. Were you surprised on how well that all blended together coming out of the shotgun spread?
Our linemen were taught, at junior high, how to block some different schemes, and, we tried to keep it as similar as we could for them, using, a 1 or 2 back system with a quarterback in a shotgun formation. And we felt we had strength at receiver, with Tom and Khalil and some of the other players. And, we always had a couple running backs. And we felt that, that would be a good mix for Cody to throw the football. And, if people filled the box up, we were going to throw the football. If they spread out, then we were going to try to run the football. So we try to be well balanced. And, we just kind of grew into it. Week by week. I think we'll be a little bit better prepared next year, earlier in the season offensively than we were this year.
Coach, on the defensive side of the football, you had a lot of different fronts, a lot of different secondary formations, moved the linebackers up on the line of scrimmage and back. Really started to seem like you were confusing opponents' offenses, and obviously Bill Morton and Gino Donofrio were able to put together a terrific package, but the players executed that package all season long pretty well.
We're a multi-dimensional defense. We use different looks, and that dates back to just, when Coach Morton and I first got together. And, he was an even front, or I was an even front guy, and he was an odd front guy, and we kind of mixed the 2 defenses together and, use what we have to use. Now with the spread sets coming in, we kind of developed this new philosophy with the secondary in the last couple of years, and we've used that. And you're always working, you're always learning in this game, and no matter what your age is, things change, and you try to do what's best for your kids, and against that opponent. So when we have different defensive fronts and looks, we can say, all right, we're going to use this week, or we're going to use these 2 this week. This one doesn't work that well this week, so we'll use this. And plus it's hard for an opponent to prepare for you because they're not sure what type of defensive look they're going to get. obviously we had a couple pass breakdowns against North Allegheny, but they had some great receivers and a great quarterback, probably the best quarterback in the WPIAL. He was able to run the ball and pass it. I thought we contained him pretty well on the run. Probably had the most sacks on him than anybody did this year in the WPIAL. We had 6 sacks, so he knew he was in a football game, and we were close. He was just got a couple of the passes, and when you throw the ball, some good things and bad things could happen, and unfortunately, too many good things happened for them.
Coach, you touched on your age, and the rumors come up after every season over the past few years about when you're going to step down as the head coach at Woodland Hills, and you're talking about next year, so it doesn't look like it's going to be at least for the 2013 season.
Adam, I take them one at a time, but these young kids, they come up and said, "Coach, you're coming back next year." I said, "Yeah, I'm coming back." I love the kids. I love working with them, and it's in my blood, and I always say I take it year by year, but I don't have any foreseeable plans in the near future. As long as the school board wants me and the kids enjoy playing for me, we'll see how long we can go. But I know we should have a nice run here in the next few years with some talented young men coming back.
Well, Coach, we're going to wrap it up here in just a minute, but give us your final overview of the 2012 season, a season that started out rocky with a loss to Upper St. Clair. Prospects didn't look great without Harry Randall, without Ron Brown, and this team just came over a lot. Talk about this team and what they accomplished.
I think, like I said, Adam, I'm very proud of this team, in particular the senior class, for their leadership and the chemistry that was formed. And I think a lot of the lifelong lessons that they learn going through the season. It's a football season isn't, like we say, a destination. It's a journey. And they did very well, all year in the off season, starting back last year in the weight room, coming through the spring drills, and our camps, our football camps down at Pitt, where they won the big man challenge again, and we won our passing league, and our Down syndrome camp with Thomas Jefferson, Camp of the Stars. That was fantastic. August camp, putting up the tents and the cots down the Wolverine and sleeping over down there. It turned out to be a great success down there. Just in the season, as we went through it, they endured a lot, had a lot of bumps early, a lot of things we had to overcome. They stayed true to line, focused on what we had to do. They focused week to week on the team we were playing, and we achieved a lot of success, and we were fortunate we beat a lot of good football teams.
Well, Coach, I know the journey for the 2013 season starts in just a couple of weeks with weightlifting starting over yet again, getting ready for another football season.
A lot of kids are excited. They don't want to take any time off, but I think a little bit of rest is good for them. Get their minds and bodies set, and start focusing on next season.
Well, Coach, thanks a lot for your time, and we wish you the best of luck throughout the offseason, and we will talk to you again next fall. Fans, again, we thank you for joining us for this 2012 postseason wrap-up show on the Woodland Hills Football Network. We ask you to click the link below for the highlights of the WPIAL Championship game. For everybody at Woodland Hills Television, I'm Adam Gusky, and we'll see you in the fall.